Hi everyone, welcome back to the what episode is this? Like I suppose it's like 27th episode of Learning Kotlin Life. So today we're going to read more docs today. Um, Learn. So we've covered generics, nested classes, enum, objects. Objects? Have we covered objects? No, I don't think so. Let's take a look. Yeah, I tend to believe we have not covered object yet. So sometimes we need to create an object of a slight modification of some classes without explicitly declaring a new subclass for it. Okay, that's anonymous class, yeah. Slightly generalized as object expressions and object declarations. So, to create an object for an anonymous class that inherits for some type, we write object and colon, mouse adapter, the instance. So this just exactly looks like new mouse adapter and those what class are those? Those anonymous classes. If a supertype has a constructor, appropriate constructor parameters must be passed to it. So, what happens when we create an anonymous class of, can we, I'm actually unsure if we can we only create from interfaces? New hello world, and hello world is a concrete it's interface. There's an expression, blah blah blah. Installation of French greeting. New operator, the name of an interface to implement, or a class to extend. So yeah, it can extend a class. But what happens with the constructor? Parenthesis that it contains an argument to the constructor. Oh yeah, so it's just the same. Many supertypes may be specified as a comma separated list after the colon. Okay, I think this is new to me, at least. I don't think we were able to, at least I have never tried. Parentheses that contain an argument. The name of an interface to implement, or a class to extend. So yeah, we can't do both in Java, but we can do both in Kotlin. So by any chance we need just an object with no trivial supertypes, we can simply say, okay, so a nameless object is just inheriting the what was it? Any, sort of, any, and or any. Note that anonymous objects can be used as types only in local and private declarations. If you use an anonymous object as a return type of a public, use an anonymous object as a return type of a public, or the type of a public property, declared supertype of the declared, and if you didn't declare any supertype, many members say that in the anonymous object will not be accessible. So for private functions, the type here is of object type. But if it's a public function, then oh, because we don't extend anything, so the return type is now any. So for foo.x, there's an x, but this is any, so there is no reference to x. Inner class Kotlin object expression can access variables from the enclosing scope. Really? Okay, we all know that, and in Java, the inheritance of so this is okay. So inner classes of Kotlin are declared are default not able to access the outer class, but for objects, which is the anonymous type alternative in Kotlin, it can access the variables from the enclosing scope. And furthermore, it does not only access the final variables, it can access all of the variables. Okay, that's new to me. Huh? Huh? Wait. So object itself followed by a colon is for anonymous classes, or they're just called object expressions. But for object declarations, without that colon, they are sort of singletons. Why? Why do we combine both these with the object keyword? That's so weird. Object declaration, and it always has a name following the object keyword, just like variable. Yeah, and object declaration is not an expression and cannot be used on the right hand side, of course. It's thread safe. Okay. Initializing is thread safe. Okay. So that would be a thread safe singleton. So to refer to the object, we use its name directly. Data provider dot register data provider, or all data providers. I wonder what are the scopes of, what are the life cycles of these objects. Such objects can have supertypes, so it's again a colon. Oh, actually no. For object syntax, object expressions, the colon is followed directly by object, right? Yeah, directly by object. But if it is followed by a type, then a colon, then it is, oh, this is so confusing to me. I think it makes some sense, but just so confusing for newcomers. Object declarations can be local, so it should be at a file scope or class scope. Yeah, it's in class scope. And so there's this idea of companion object. If it is marked companion, okay, so this is about object declarations. If they are marked companion, then instead of using this default listener or factory as the name, we're using my class instead. The name of the companion object can be omitted. Yeah, so we don't need to give it a name factory anymore. We just use companion object, blah blah. What? What? I don't get what this name means. Okay, it simply means that you can use the name of the surrounding enclosing class, no matter we have a name or not. It looks like static members in other language. Yes, just like static in Java. But at runtime, those are still instance members of real objects and can, for example, implement interfaces. Okay. So static members. So for static members, static members can't implement interfaces? Really? I don't quite imagine that to be true in Java. Static members can't implement interfaces? Really? Really? Could be true. Just that I never used it that way. Let's test it with, oh, there's a test center. Lovely. Oh, no. Not quite what I expected. Let's switch it to Java. Oh, okay, we can't write stack here actually. Java Online compiler. Public static So it claims that this is not possible. Execute. What? Where's the... It does not have a compiler. Where's my error messages? Hey, where's my error messages and where are my... Or maybe this pages simply don't support Firefox. That would be a... I would be really sad if that is true. It's loading. What? Why? Whatever. Arrow, comma, expected. Where? 13. Oh, yeah, of course. Attempting to assign was public. Yeah, so it is just possible. Or at least I was understanding it incorrectly. Wait. Yeah, it is just possible. So, even though the members of companion objects look like static members in other languages, at runtime those are still instance members of real objects and can, for example, implement interfaces. It implements some interface and it override. It implements some... Alright. Look like static members. Alright, but okay, so I'm not going to care about this part. I only care about at runtime those are still instance members. We just need to remember that these are not, they are just not static members. You can have members of companion objects generated as real static methods with JVM static if we want, but that is just, I believe it's kinda not welcomed in Kotlin, at least not recommended, or else it should design it in a design a keyword for it instead of annotation. So there's one more important semantic difference between object expressions and object declarations. Object expressions are executed immediately where they are used. So that means the class is instantiate at any time, but object declarations are lazily, so if a companion object, so this also saves memory. If we want some properties of a class to delay until it is accessed, or just like what that we have learned last time, init by lazy Kotlin, just like this keyword, if we want it. Is there an official? by lazy. Okay, we're going to go to later sometime, but not now. So lazy is a function that takes a lambda and return an instance of lazy. So that is the initialization. That's what I believe at least. So if we want some yeah, if we want some properties or a class, say a class aggregated by so many properties and functions to be init lazily, we can use object declarations. A companion object is initialized when the corresponding class is loaded. Huh? Oh, okay. So it was like it's still it's still somewhat work like Java static. Okay. So no, this is not talking about the staticness of the companion objects or any other object declarations. It was talking about a static block in Java. I'm not sure if you have used this. Yeah, that's the static block. They are run at class loading. Yeah, when a class is loaded. So I like this answer. I'm going to upload it. Anyway, where are we? Oh, we have finished this. X objects. So given that we are ready, we're running out of time. Let's take a peek at the inline classes. Let's see if it's long. Okay, it's super long. So no, I'm not going to talk about these today. So again, let's have a quick recap of objects. Objects, expressions, and declarations. Object expressions are for are like the anonymous classes in Java. So it is used when we don't want to create a named class. For object declarations, it is used as some complementary object or class that that can be used. To me, it's more like an aggregation of semantics or an aggregation of logics that has a name. So, no, not companion objects. So, oh, and furthermore, they are singleton, really? Okay. Yeah, so they are singleton, and that is also why they are loaded at they are initialized at load time. So if you want some logic or some variable or some properties to be shared among instances of classes, you use object declarations. And for objects declarations, there is a special type called companion objects, which can be used can be referenced by instead by the name of the object itself. It can be referenced by the enclosing class. So that's so. Let's see if anyone's asking any questions. Nope. Okay, so that will be all for today. Hope you enjoyed today's content. So as a quick reminder, for every time we're going to first introduce some Kotlin properties or read some Kotlin docs, and in the next episode we write some actual code. And in the next, we don't necessarily use whatever we learned in the last time, but we're going to write some code. And in the next episode, again, we're going to read some docs. So this is what we're going to, this is how this is going to work. And for those who are so busy that don't want to watch the code writing part, you can just skip those contents. And the let us take a look at my channel. 1 minute. Where's my channel? There it is. Let's search code with empty.tm here. Oh, by the way, I have a Facebook page. Like it if you want to see some contents. I mean, just some announcements of when I am lazy. Haha. So, yeah, for episodes that we talk about something, I will always add this dash and what we talk about after it. And for or in this episode, we talk about sealed classes, blah blah, and we will always have that dash or some colon. Yeah, sorry for being non-consistent. I'm going to fix it now, right now. So that's all for today. See you guys. See you next time. Bye bye.